Hey, it's Imani.
Hey, it's Flex Alexander.
And welcome to the Daddy Daughter Dance
The
Podcast.
podcast where we talk about everything father-daughter related. Yes, and much more. Today, I know she is excited because ever since she was little, listen, from The Wizard of Oz to, so many other movies, but when Wicked has come about, this one here, Ariana Grande, just in general, we used to take her to the set of Sam and Cat. She got to meet Ariana Grande, and ever since then, it has been just over the top. And I said today, let's do something different. You know, let's talk about Wicked. We don't give reviews, but we just want to talk about it because there was so much to talk about. People had so much to say. Parents didn't want to take their kids to see it because of this, that, and the other. Cynthia Erivo being, the green witch, and this. It's so much stuff. The internet's always looking for something. So I haven't seen it yet, but Imani and my nephew, they've seen it, and I want to get your thoughts and your feedback on what you picked up from this movie, which has been killing it in the box office. Yeah. What would you get from it?
Okay, so spoilers ahead in case anyone hasn't seen it. But so basically, it was really cool to see the backstory of everything because I've watched, just knowing the whole Wizard of Oz and seeing that is before the Wizard of Oz. So one, it shows how everything comes to be when they get to that point. So it was cool to see that. And for Cynthia playing Elphaba was a different experience because, of course, like in the play, she's just like green. So, of course, the whole story is that she's made fun of because she looks different. But her also being black at the same time, I think added like a different type of depth to the character, and I think that it made it make even more sense because it just showed like when she was a kid and then how her sister treated her and like just everybody treated her. It was just like it made so many people feel like we kind of relate to that experience of being seen like different because of like our skin and stuff like that. And in the movie, she was trying to do good, and they used her for the natural powers that she had, and she was trying to help, and essentially they used her so she becomes like wicked, but she was never a witch to begin with. So it kind of showed that story, and it showed like Ariana, of course, I love Ariana. But like it was cool to see. One, I think Ariana has also taught me something else of like I've always known that manifestation is real, but if you've been a fan, you know that Ariana Grande has talked about how she wanted to play that role since she was a kid. She went to see Wicked. She met the original Kristen who played that role. Like she and then she had tweeted like years ago, she was like, went to see Wicked, that's a dream role, like something that she said to like play in her lifetime. And just seeing it actually happen, I was like, when she came out on the screen, I literally was like, oh my gosh. It felt so like emotional, and like just seeing like they both really studied these characters and took care of these characters because like we see Ariana more pop, so seeing her train and like her voice like sounded in a way that I've never heard it before because it's theater, it's not what she usually sings, it's like more pop. She sings pop more, like more music. So it was just really cool to just see that, and I just felt like the message was like no matter what, you have to keep being yourself, because at the end of the day, like being yourself is the key to anything that like you want to achieve. And that's kind of, I feel like, what it showed.
Now you walked away with that message. What do you think? Because there's grumblings about certain parents like saying, "Oh, I'm going to take my child to see that," and blah 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 blah. But do you think everyone will walk away with that message? The message of, here's someone that was not inherently evil or wicked, but because of everything that happened to her and people around her and what they did to her, caused her to kind of go in that way. And again, I haven't seen it, but from what you're telling me, that's just what I'm gathering. Do you think that some parents just don't want to see anything with a message, or they just want to just see a movie?
I mean, I feel like that too. I feel like because obviously the play has been out forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a book first and then a play. So like, it's not like it's a new story.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, now some parents might feel a way, depending on how they raise their kids, or, like some might, or like I've seen like parents take their kids and then it's fine. Some try to say certain things, and I just think partially I think it's because of who's playing the roles. Like, that's just what I think. I think that if it wasn't Cynthia and if it was, a non-black person, it would be different, because at the end of the day, like, that always sometimes just plays into it. Like, as we've seen with Halle and all these people who get these big roles, there's always the people who are mad because originally she's green, so she doesn't really have a skin color. But originally she was played by white women, and I seen something on a TikTok that was like the only time black people have played that role on Broadway was when they were like understudies, like, just happened to get to, but it's never been consistently played by, it's like someone who's black. So I think that
who was the woman played before? Was it Idina
Menzel is the original.
The original, right?
And Kristen Chenoweth is the original of Ariana's character.
Right. Because I had never heard any of this controversy before. I didn't hear anybody grumbling about anything. And it's the same message. It's the same thing. Someone who was inherently nice and good and was used for their kindness and taken advantage of, and then it turned them kind of like our society.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it has real life messages, and maybe some parents won't go because certain things are revealed throughout the movie, because I really do feel like movies are messages as well. Also, like, what was I gonna say? Like, I saw something else with Moana 2, and this lady tried to say, "Oh my God, we left because it was so dark, blah 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 blah," and there were people who were of that culture saying that you left because they were doing like Polynesian like chants and stuff like that, and it's part of their culture. But you guys thought that everything is bad and dark, but it's really just the beauty of their culture. Right. And I think that people like just get so caught up in that, and it's like you're not seeing like the message here. And I think that not everybody watches movies or hears songs like some people do. Like I think it's different when, one, because I'm black, so I felt the experience of that, seeing the movie, and also being a creative person as well. Like, watching movies and hearing songs, my brain is just like altered in a way where like sometimes it's hard not to think of like the creative side. Like, I was thinking of the way she hit that note and like the vocals and this and that, while some people might just watch it to just watch it, and that's fine too. But I felt a really deep message and meaning just in every way. So
do you think going forward, what do you think? Do you think there will be more movies that, not so much I'm gonna say change, because the character is green anyway, but like with Halle Bailey, where she was a black mermaid, which wasn't originally that color, which people were in uproar when that happened, and trying to understand why people have an issue, right, with characters that are made up anyway. Like, the White Mermaid is not a real mermaid. It's like, it's not. So what difference does it make if they're Latin or melanated, or like, what's the difference? Because remember, these are made up characters, and to see people really get upset, it just baffles me, because I'm hoping that we push for more. We push for, because you see there are different shows even now that do it. You have shows that will change gender, or like on CBS, there's an old show that was called Matlock from years ago, and now you have a woman playing. You have Kathy from Misery. What is her name? I can't remember her name. But anyway, I was gonna say Kathy Sledge, but no, that's a singer. It's an actress. She now is playing Matlock, and then you have a show coming out called Watson, which is about a detective. It was an English show, and now it's being played by Morris Chestnut, who's a melanated brother. And I think that's where we are now. We're progressing. We should see different things, and get different messages, and not be so caught up in like characters that are made up anyway. You want them to stay one color or one gender or whatever. We have so much more room in storytelling. Kathy Bates, that's her name. So much more room in storytelling, and it's all make believe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like people are gonna always be upset because of just.
Just when it comes to us.
Yeah,
upset,
of course, because
sure.
It's like we are. I don't know what it is. Like I guess they see it as taking over theirs, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, but like we said, these characters are literally fictional characters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Mermaids do not have a race, and it's just it never has made sense, and I think sometimes people don't want to see like us in that light sometimes. So that's why I was glad when I heard that she got to play this role in this movie, because it just made so much more sense for the character to me personally. Like I was just like, whoa, this, like it really showed her going through childhood and just all that, just like those different like layers and stuff that it added to the character. And people, I think I've seen a lot of people really appreciate that. Like there are more good than I've seen.
That's good.
Bad. So I'm glad that people did, see that and, applaud them both for the work that they did. But, I'm like, this is a fictional character, guys.
Yeah.
Like, let the work be done. The movie was great. Like, if you don't want to see it, don't see it. If you don't want to take your kid to see it, don't see it. Like, sometimes movies aren't for everybody, or,
right.
And if it's not for you, like, that's fine. But don't, just don't say anything. Don't, make somebody feel upset for, like, the role that they played. Like, I don't know what, like, that just has never made sense to me personally. So it's just, I don't know. I thought that it was a really good movie, and it just tied into everything up, because I never got to see the actual Wicked like on Broadway, because it's only in New York and stuff. So I've never got to see like the original cast, like, of it. So
that Idina Menzel, she's a fan of Mom's.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually so crazy.
Yeah, we went to a bowling. We went to a bowling thing. It was years ago, and I forgot who. We went to a bowling event, and a friend of ours that was there. She was just like, "Oh my God," she said, and this man, she's doing this play. She's Wicked. She's a huge fan, and I'll never forget that. She came over. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm such a fan." I'm like, I still remember that.
That's so crazy, because she was obviously in Frozen. She played Elsa. She was in Enchanted.
I loved Enchanted.
That's what I was like, yeah. Like,
we went to the movies to see that. That was such a good movie when they were in the park and singing.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked that. That was really a good movie.
That's literally such like a great movie. That's so random though.
Yeah,
so crazy.
Yeah. We met her at a bowling alley. This generation. I mean, these movies are. I mean, when I was coming up in the Disney movies, they were subpar. Graphics, illustration, all that. But I think they've stepped up so much in not just the look of it, but storytelling. And really, because all of those movies, Pocahontas, Wicked, all those movies, they tie to cultural history and cultural background. And that's important to tell that story. It's very important to tell that story. And when that story is told, us as the audience, you can't look at it again and just be upset because they want to say, we're going to change this character and probably, change it to what they were originally anyway. So I applaud them for doing that because it's time. I mean, it's time. We don't live in a one-way world at all. You walk out, you see everything, every color on the spectrum, whatever, you see it. And it's time that we continue to reflect that. No matter what's going on now and these next 4 years and this energy of what is being poured out all over the nation, we still have to, we don't live, there's no one-way world. There's so many different beautiful colors, so many different beautiful ethnicities, so much more beautiful history. So the Polynesian history is beautiful. It's amazing. And it ties so closely with African history. I mean, they're all intertwined, and I just hope that they continue to do these movies, and parents that have they're being a type wide about it, get over it, because this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. We live in a multicultural, multi-gender, everything. That's the world we live in. There's no make-believe. Just going to walk out and just see one ethnicity of people. It's not going to happen. As long as people are having babies, they're going to be different. They're going to be different, and you just got to get used to it. So, stop getting uptight about, stuff that's made up anyway.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that? But I do suggest you get out there and see it. I'm going to go see it. I haven't seen it yet. I definitely want to see it. I want to see that, and I want to see Moana too, because I enjoyed Moana, the first one.
I need to see Moana too.
Yes, I enjoy that. So maybe we'll do that, and we'll come back and we'll talk about Moana and what we saw and the message in Moana 2. That is our assignment. Yes. So until then, thank you for hanging out with us. I'm Flex Alexander.
And I'm Imani.
Follow us again on social media. Flex8for on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Flex Alexander on Facebook.
And Imani Music, Imani with 2 eyes at the end, on all social media.
Yes. And please like, share, and subscribe. Please, please, please continue to help us grow. Again, we're doing this here ourselves. We have our amazing engineer, my nephew, Amir on the ones and twos. So this is something we're just doing because we're passionate about it. So please, please like, subscribe, and share, and tell a friend about it, so we can continue to grow and continue to show you that we care. Until next time, peace.